nobody ask us nothing. Y'all say, don't talk about it. We gon' talk about it anyway. Y'all say, don't talk about it. Ain't nobody ask us nothing. Y'all say, don't talk about it. We gon' talk about it anyway. Y'all say, let's talk about it.
Hey, welcome to our third episode of our podcast, Ain't Nobody Ask Us Nothing. We're your hosts. I'm Uncle Ken. This is Coach Denise. And we're going to talk about some things today. You know, want you to listen, tune in. Denise, what we talking about?
We are talking about, what about your friends? What's the next lyric?
It's stand their ground.
Yes.
Will they let you down
Again. Yes. We don't know actually sing this way, and we didn't want to get copyrighted. So nevertheless, we are talking about what about your friends. So as you know, those of you who have been faithful and listening to our podcast, this is a mature audience opportunity. So we want you to be very protective of the little ears around you, because Uncle Ken over here, he might fly off at the mouth and be saying any and every kind of cuss word and anything else. I'm just saying, I'm not going to throw you under the bus because you my friend.
I'm not going to.
But it is what it is. So here, we are talking about what about your friends. Do you tell your friends the truth or what they want to hear? Or here's some other things that we're going to be having a conversation about. With your friends, what if y'all have two sets of friends or two friends and you don't like each, or one of your friends doesn't like the other, if you will? So when your friend breaks up with their significant other, or if you have two sets of friends, like I said, and one doesn't like the other, or you don't like their significant other, what does that mean in this friendship relationship? So we're going to be talking about what about your friends. And I really hope you understand. Ain't nobody asked us nothing, but we're going to be talking about it anyway. And so welcome to the pod.
So what you just said about when you threw me under the bus, was that the truth or what I wanted to hear?
No, that was the truth. That was the truth. That's sad. But but at the same time, I don't think you care what other people want to hear.
That might be the truth.
Yes,
right there.
I think a lot of folks who know you, Ken, what would you say is one of their gripes about your friendship? Is that you're overly honest, or what would you say?
I think it's more that I'm not warm and fuzzy with it. I just say what I think, and if it's the truth, it's the truth. I don't think I need to stroke your back to tell you messing up. You messing up, John. Don't do that. You know, they'll say, I don't like your tone. Yeah, but did I tell you the truth? You talking about my tone is just your way of taking the focus off what I just said. Oh. So, and in friendships, I believe you need friends that will be honest with you. Now, I'm going to have your back in public. Whether I believe you're right or not, I'm gonna be wrong right with you. But when we by ourselves, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm gonna fight with you out in the street if I need to. But then that might mean we have to fight each other when we get back. But you're gonna hear the truth. I'm not gonna make you feel good about being messed up.
So with that being said, let's talk about honesty and in relationships. And we're talking about platonic relationships right now, friendships, right? Honesty versus being nice to keep the peace. Do you find that, that's the situation often is people are more likely just to not say anything, or kind of say what their friend wants to hear, just so we can have a calm night out. We going out, have a girls' night, or we going to watch the game, whatever we're doing. And I'm going to just let it go. I'm going to just roll with the punches and not be honest, because I want to have a peaceful day with my friends or my friend group at that moment. Okay,
but first of all, I've never had a girl night, so I don't know what y'all do over there. But
we have royal fun. That's what we do.
I think in general, people want to be liked.
Okay.
So I think in a lot of cases, I'm going to use the air quotes, friends, not going to be honest with you because they want you to like them. They don't want you to be upset with them. But I don't really think that that's real friendship, because if you got a booger hanging out your nose and I don't tell you, that means I'm just letting you go out there and let other people make fun of the booger in in your nose. And I think we too focus on being liked. It's more so for our feeling. I don't want to feel bad about so-and-so being mad at me or so-and-so not liking what I'm saying. So I'm going to let him stay messed up so that I don't feel bad. And I don't think that's friendship in either direction. Because if I have to do that with you,
Right.
then you don't think I'm your friend. Friend should be somebody that you trust. I remember when I was a kid, many years ago, it was an old saying that said, "A friend is someone who knows all about you and likes you anyway."
Anyways, yeah.
And that's what I think friendship should be. That, I understand you, I know you, I tell you what I believe the truth is, even if my truth is incorrect. Because I think it's the truth doesn't mean that it's the truth, but I cared enough about you to give you the honesty. And I think that's more important than making your friend feel good about their mess.
So are you thinking, when you say that friends, people want to be liked, so the honesty or the dishonesty or, skirting around certain issues, is it because they want to be liked or they don't want to hurt the other person's feelings? You don't think that plays a part in it?
I think it's some of both. But when you talk about not hurting the other person's feelings, if the truth hurts your feelings, then the problem not you telling them, the problem is that person can't handle the truth. And at some point, they're going to have to suffer the consequences for not knowing the truth. It's like when you're a parent, you got a baby, and your baby say a cuss word, and you laugh, and you think it's cute until they say that cuss word out in public in front of people. Now you embarrassed as hell because, they just said, no, it was cute 5 minutes ago when you was in the house. Had you told the baby 5 minutes ago that you can't do that, then maybe you wouldn't be embarrassed right now. And it could be either or. It could be, I don't want to feel bad because I know it's going to hurt your feelings. So I'm still going to tell you.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you pull your side, tell you in private, and let your feelings be hurt in private. But you won't be making that same mistake in public. You were able to deal with, your feelings being hurt and then move forward. And if a friendship can't withstand that, you don't have a friendship. That's in my opinion. You don't have a friendship. And if I only can tell you what makes you feel good, I don't think that's being your friend. And I don't think you my friend if I have to do that.
Right. Well, I know that oftentimes you have, kind of like these words that are associated with being a friend. You have loyalty, you have love, you have, all of these, warm and fuzzy, beautiful words. And I wonder at the same time, when you're in a situation where, and many of us, especially at our grown age, we have groups of friends, and not all the time do those circles connect like the Venn diagram, but then sometimes there are where you have that middle section where people intersect. And I'm bringing this up because what I have seen, especially as I have been adulting, is I'm your friend, and then there's this other person that doesn't really care for you, but they care for me. And so we're in this conundrum where we have this group of friends, and not everyone. What?
I'm listening.
I know, but you looked at me when I said conundrum. Is that not the word? I think that's the word. Is that the word?
Producer, no.
I did.
It is the word.
Thank you, Taylor, producer.
I said nothing about
I'm
your
just
wording.
saying, you looked at me, and I want to be liked.
Paranoid much?
Okay, see, here we go. My point is, how do we deal with our friend group when there's people in the group that either don't get along or don't truly like each other, they don't care to be around each other, but they are, and they deal with it in the conundrum because they care about, you. And how do you navigate that?
So I had a unique situation. I won't say these two guys' names,
Okay.
but they're two of my very best friends. You know, sometimes we use the word friends and they're really just acquaintances
Yeah,
or
yeah.
somebody you kind of like. They're two of my very best at the top of the friend list.
Mm-hmm.
They did not like each other. And so I was always caught in the conundrum
Are we gonna do this all day, Ken? Are we gonna do this all day, Uncle
of
Ken?
when, like, I'm having a party or an event.
Right.
People are like, well, which one you going to invite? I'm going to invite both of them.
Right.
I'm just going to let each one of them know that the other one is going to be there. And then they decide if they coming or not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to deal with the fact that they don't like each other. That's on them. I like both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Move forward 20, 25 years later, come to find out, neither one of them know why they don't like the other one. And friend A didn't like friend B because he thought friend B didn't like him. Friend B didn't like friend A because he thought friend A didn't like. They had no problem with each other except for they both thought that other one didn't like them. Now, had we had some conversation,
That's right.
could have found that out and saved 25
Yeah. Uncomfortable.
years. But people don't want to have uncomfortable conversations, which often leads to conundrums.
Here we go. Ain't nobody asked us nothing. It's the word of the day, but ain't nobody asked us nothing.
We're sponsored by the word conundrum.
Yes. So I get that. I get that there are oftentimes situations where you don't even know what happened, why this happened, but there may be on the alternative side, there may have been a real angst between two people. And I am keeping the peace between our circle of friends. And I may be the problem too, right? I don't know. And I think that that's where I feel disconnected, especially at our grown age. If there is something that I have done to lose your favor, or that I have done to offend you in any possible way, I need you to come and talk to me and tell me, because most cases, at least speaking for myself, I had no idea I had hurt your feelings, or I spoke out the way, or whatever the case might be. I had no idea, because I don't go around every morning waking up like, who can I offend today? Who can I upset today? That's not even in my nature. And so if someone is upset with me in our friend group and they're only being loyal, if they're only being loyal because of the friend group, that makes me wonder, right? Is it even worth it? Do we need to why can't we just have these kinds of conversations as grown-ups?
I guarantee you that how many people in your friend group?
Oh, that's a loaded question.
Okay, let's say 5. Let's pick a number 5.
It's more than that, but that might be your.
I asked you ain't want to answer, so I just gave you the number. Come on.
Okay, we'll lowball it.
All right.
We'll
So
lowball it.
let's say it's 5 in your friend group. The other 4 know what you did.
You think so?
Yeah, because that one that you offended went and told the other 4, and none of them came back and told you. But you know who normally will come back and tell you? The messiest one
Of course.
in your
Of
in your friend group. And is that really a friend group? Because first of all, the conversation should have been limited to you and the one that you offended. And if they told someone else in the group instead of telling you, somebody else in that group should have said, hey, let's get together with Denise and figure out what's going on. I think the word friend we tend to use kind of loosely.
Yeah.
I mean, like Facebook friends.
Right.
We got people on Facebook that we don't even know. We never even met in person, but we call them our friend. So I guess sometimes being friends not easy, because when you care about somebody, you don't want to hurt their feelings, but it might be in their best interest for you to hurt their feelings with the truth so that they can fix something.
Okay, but you know what's the saying? You can't handle the truth. There's gonna be some times where, even like I said, in our grown age, there are folks that really can't having conversations that are either courageous or just flat out honest. And that's what we said at the top of the podcast is like sometimes people want us to have conversations and not be honest just in order to keep the peace. But at the same time, if you can't tell your friend the truth, I wonder if that's really friendship, like you're saying, or is that emotional babysitting?
Emotional babysitting. I like that. I think in a lot of cases it is emotional babysitting, and the lack of vulnerability might be part of the problem. And especially like for us guys, I mean, we don't want to be vulnerable. And sometimes to have that conversation, one of the parties has to be vulnerable. And also accountability may be a problem. None of us want to be wrong about anything or have done something. So a lot of times our first inclination is to, rather than listen to what's being said, defend ourselves with what's being said. And if you make me defensive, I'm defensive against who? Against you. So that kind of quasi turn us into frenemies when I feel like I have to defend myself against you, when really I don't. You're helping me. You're telling me, hey, I think what you did over here is wrong, and we can have a conversation about it. It doesn't have to be a defensive conversation, because what I did may not have been wrong. And if it's not, now I get an opportunity to, change my friend's perspective on something, because maybe something that he think I did wrong is not wrong, but the way he would have done it was wrong. Friends take care of each other, and if I can't be honest with you, I can't take care of you.
So here's just a point I want us to consider. I think people often confuse loyalty to mean that I agree with you. I can be your friend and love you and even be very loyal to you in our friendship, but not agree with the things that you do. And I think sometimes those things can be conflated as well. I can love you and disagree with you. I don't have to agree with you to respect you. So loyalty can go so many different ways. And it's like what you said, what does friendship really mean? Are we confusing friendship with acquaintances and so on? So right now I'm really focused on real loving friendships that are true and real, not fake loyalty, not, all of that, just friendship. So if that is the case, and you're a friend that is doing things that I think is contrary to your character, contrary to who you are. For example, you're a married man, and you have friends that are also married, and you know that those friends and their wives we've all become friends, right? So your wife and me, we just happen to be sorority sisters, but you have groups of people where the couples are now really good friends, travel together, all of that kind of stuff. So what I have seen is there are times where your friends are stepping out on their wives. And then next thing you know, y'all in Jamaica, all together, doing coupley things, all together, scuba diving, doing all the things. And you know for a fact that this man is stepping out on his wife, but yet you smiling in his face, or in her face. So where does that come in, where you hold your friend accountable? And what loyalty do you have to that person's wife that believes that they are just happily ever after and living their best life as a married couple? And this dude got all kinds of other sides, north, souths, all kind of chicks all over the place. And you over here smiling in this woman's face.
Okay. First of all.
Yes.
No snitching allowed. Let's get
See?
that. Let's get that straight. Now you can be a friend of a couple.
Yeah.
But depending on how you met, like I have female friends that are married, my loyalty is to the female friend.
Even if you become great friends with the husband.
Yeah, my loyalty is to my female friend in that situation. And personally, if I find out my female friend husband is stepping out, probably gonna be some kind of altercation, maybe.
Oh, okay. Look at you.
And then I'm giving him the opportunity
To come
to not so much come clean first, to stop.
to stop.
Yeah, just
So
stop.
you what?
You gonna let me talk?
Okay, yes, sorry. I'm putting us in a conundrum.
Okay, to stop and do right by my friend, or to tell my friend. If he does neither, then I'm telling my friend. That's not snitching, because that's who I'm loyal to. If I'm loyal to the guy, I'm going to tell him, you need to stop doing that. If you don't want to be with your wife no more, let her know you don't want to be with her no more, and then move on.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't stop, I'm going to do this thing that very few people do. I'm going to mind my damn business. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to mind my business. Because I'm not going to snitch on my friend, because that's who I'm loyal to.
Right.
But I am going to be honest to tell him, hey, this ain't what you need to be doing. It ain't fair to her. And try to convince him to do the right thing. But if he don't, I'm going to mind my business.
So our last point, because I love this, and then Taylor's telling us to wrap it up, y'all. But I do have to ask this. When you have this a situation similar to what we were just talking about, where you have, no matter who you became friends with first, now you're friends as couples. If they break up, does that mean you got to break up with that person that you have now forged a great friendship with? Because your loyalty is prioritized with the first friend. So
Okay,
y'all
so-
breaking up
so
because they
that-
broke up.
So that's tricky. And I think that's probably an individual thing. I don't think that is mandatory that you stop. Okay, Bill and Jessica broke up. Me and Bill boys, but me and Jessica cool too.
Right.
It don't mean I need to stop being friends with Jessica. Now I'm not gonna go hang out with Jessica and her new dude unless Bill say that it's okay. Because again, we back to loyalty and who really is your friend. And so in this case, Bill is my friend. I'm not going to treat Jessica bad or ignore Jessica and not be Jessica's friend. But me and Jessica not hanging out with her new dude. No matter how nice a new dude might be or whatever, unless Bill say, I don't care, then me and Jessica just going to be friends from afar. And plus, if Jessica's single, a married man can't really be too friendly with a single woman because of the appearance.
That's true. But what I think too is sometimes in those situations, now Jessica's not only your friend, but she's also friend with your wife. And then when you have these situations where one of the couples has dissolved their relationship, you are really breaking up. 4 people are breaking up, not just 2 people. It's 4 people possibly breaking up because you have grown to love each other. Like I said, at our grown age, some of our friendships go back years, right? Decades. And so what does that mean when we have these loyalty clauses and all of these different little trenches and stuff that we're going through to make sure that these friendships last and are genuine and all the things?
That's, tough to navigate. I was married before and got divorced. And my wife at the time, friends, her girlfriend and her husband.
Yeah.
They're my friends
Oh,
now. And her husband always said, we want kin in the divorce. So,
Not custody, not friendship custody in a divorce.
So things change throughout
Yeah.
the course, but at some point you recognize who is your friend and who isn't your friend. So in the course of that relationship, I guess they realized that I was more their friend.
Okay.
Even though I met them through my ex-wife.
Well, ain't nobody asked us nothing. We have come to the end of our time, and I always have a little something to say. I think friendship is really important. It could be full of love and exciting things, and you can really experience things for a very, very long period of time if you have a true and real friendship. But I think what we need to do is, again, have conversations with ourselves before you ever have a conversation with somebody else. Have a conversation with yourself. Are you really encouraging great friendship and love, or are you really just babysitting? Are you really loyal, or is this some fake loyalty that you have just because your friend is friends with that other person? At the end of the day, it's about honesty and transparency. Ken?
I mean, I agree with that, and I don't think that there is necessarily a cookie cutter way
for sure.
To handle it. All relationships are different, but I would suggest if you have issues with when you're being honest with your friend and your friend is upset with you because then you probably need to have a conversation about that. Hey, look, bro, you my dude. I love you. I'm always gonna keep it a buck with you, but I'm not gonna stop being your dude because of that mistake. But I owe it to you to be honest with you, because maybe I see something that you don't. My uncle used to say, the best checker player is the one that's watching the game and not actually in the game. So
Interesting.
I may see something that you don't see. Let me pull your coattail to it.
Right.
You can agree with it or not agree with it, but don't feel that you have to be the defensive about it.
Interesting. Well, we are here at the end of our podcast, and we are so grateful that you joined us. Of course, ain't nobody asked us nothing, but we really hope that you will like, subscribe, and share. Tell folks about what you heard today, and continue the conversation even after now. Make sure that you let us know how you feel. So put something in the comments, and be sure to tell us what you would like. Ain't Nobody Asked Us Nothing podcast. What do you want us to talk about next? Stay tuned, and we hope to see you at the next podcast. Have a good one.
Adios.
Deuces.
Ain't nobody asked us nothing. We're gonna talk about it anyway. Ain't nobody asked us nothing. We're gonna talk